So we have figured things out, and the world is changing so quickly. More and more of us are having to figure out how to manage our money. This is my home, and I'm comfortable being in it. I love it. And so I'm comfortable in the afternoon being in here, stay out of the sun, get out of the sun, get out of the heat, wet myself down this summertime and spend time in here, because I certainly don't want to be outside. In case you don't know who I am Minivan Lee, and I live in my minivan, and I have for 7 years, and I love it. This is my home, and I try to keep it looking good. I want to decorate a couple decorations here, not a lot, but a few. And I did, some of you mentioned, this is just a towel, but it's leaves. I thought it'd be good for summer. Sometimes I like to switch things up. But I really want to welcome you here to my channel. Please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It really does help me out. And you know, another thing too, is I want you to watch it all the way through, because I got a lot of good things to talk about today. Interesting introspections of the world that we live in now, how we got here, how our brains have increased just by the difference in life through all the years, right? And our constructive thinking, how that has developed, and the changes, new changes coming up in the nomad life. So watch it all the way through. I'll see you on the other side, okay? My flower up there. It's morning. I haven't even combed my hair. I don't care. I feel like talking to you. I do. I just feel like chatting this morning. I'm still at the same, I'm still at the same campsite. I'm going to change my campsite today, though. I think I'll stay a couple more days. Let's see this. I know, I'm working my lights. Interesting, isn't it? Not. There we go. Let's see if that light works. Oh, I don't know. One of my lights has gone, I don't know, I'm getting tired of it. So I've got to figure out something a little different. Let's see if we can do this. That might work. I know, it's early morning. I did put lipstick on. Oh my God. Some of you going, what is she doing? Well, this is me. You know, what am I doing? I'm being me. I really am. So, Max is still here. I think he's going to leave this morning. I'm going to stay a couple more days. I really like it out here. Like, I feel in my mind, like, what do I have to go back to Flagstaff for? What do I have to go back there for? Nothing. I'm so anxious for summer to be over. That's all I've got to say about that. I'll be so glad. It seems like this year what I've been doing is I enjoy going to the gyms. I got 2 gyms that I belong to now, and I enjoy that. But, you know, out here camping, I can get my exercise. I really can. I do my own exercise videos, and I can do them outside without anybody watching me do it. I'm alone. I can think better. I can read. Yeah. So I really, there's really not a lot to go back to. I find that what I've been doing is running around trying to find a spot, a shady spot to get out of the sun. This has been some summer. I'm telling you, we all have been suffering from this summer. Even those living in a house. I mean, air conditioning bills, your electrical bills I've been hearing are sky high. Some of you are in senior centers, senior homes, and they're subsidized, so you're getting a little bit better price, and I'm really happy for you. There's a lot of seniors out here living in vehicles that are kind of suffering somewhat. They're just we don't have air conditioning, so we're just working hard at finding spots. We're fighting each other for shady spots. Yeah, higher elevation and shady spots. And then there's some of you who are not being subsidized with your homes, and you're paying really high prices, for your electricity this year. Oh my gosh. And I did make some tea. This is called Positive Energy. Yes, here you go. I'll share it with you, okay? This is my first sip. I already drank some English breakfast tea. This is my second cup, and I made this with cold water. So if you watch 2 videos ago, I talked about, somebody warned me of the nanoplastic that's in the bags, the tea bags, the actual bags that they manufacture them with. So this tea does not have, I don't think has it, or doesn't have a lot, because I didn't heat the water up. Cheers. Let me turn this around. Next, and I went out to breakfast yesterday, and I had another cup of coffee. So I went to El Tabar 2 days ago, had coffee, and then I went to another restaurant. It was like a Mexican buffet breakfast, and I had some coffee. Well, there's no coffee today. No coffee. I don't need coffee today. Let me check this light, see if this... I like the lighting. What do you think? Is this going on pretty good? Yeah, it's only... I'm out camping. It's only 5:30 in the morning. I woke up really early. I went to bed early. Max goes to bed early too, so that was a good match. And then what we do is we get up early. So I'm up and I'm raring to go. I'm dressed and got everything done. And now I'm talking to you good people, okay? It's just a chit chat. What do I have to talk about? Well, Max made a really interesting observation when we were at breakfast yesterday at the Mexican buffet, and we were talking about the nomad world, obviously, and we do a lot of that. And he's a smart guy. He's got wisdom, and he's a very curious person. He's curious like me, whereas if he doesn't know something, he looks it up. Because I used to be like in conversation. If I'm in conversation or something pops in my head, I mean, let's face it. We carry computers in our hands, right? I mean, we're carrying this around all the time. In our pockets, in our bags, in our fanny packs, whatever. Or we just carry it in our hand. It's a computer. And we have, as long as we have internet, we have, and usually we have cell coverage, we can look something up. So if somebody would say something, I would always like immediately go for it and go, well, I don't know that. And you don't either, and neither do you. So let's all learn this. And I would look it up. Well, he's also very curious about things. He likes to learn new things. So he's interesting to talk to. And I think that's why we've been friends for 5 years now. We've been friends, almost 5.5. We've been good buddies. And, but we were talking about the nomad world and the difference in the world right now. Do you all feel the world changing somewhat? I do. I really do. I notice that it's changing. And when I talked about the prices, yeah, over the past 3 years, going on 4, it's a mess. It's a mess. The prices. I mean, some prices have gone up 300% in the past 4 years. It's nuts. And, gas and just everything has changed. And another thing too is people are getting smarter. They really are. IQs are going up. It really is. I think animals are getting smarter too. It's really strange when you think about it. But we can't be fooled as easy as we could before. You know, we've been watching TV. Well, the boomer generation was the first to have a TV. Yeah. I mean, my buddy, and I remember, was Captain Kangaroo. I mean, that was before kindergarten and Mr. Green Jeans and, what was it, Moose and a Bunny or something like that? I forget what their names were. Am I bringing back memories for some of the boomers? Yeah. But, and if you look at how simple TV was way back, okay, a TV was very simple. I mean, the most simplest of themes of shows, way back. I mean, Ozzie and Harriet, they were more social minded, but and Dick Van Dyke and some of the other ones, yeah, they were very simple minded. In the 60s, things got a little bit more complicated, and they sort of like tickled our brains a little bit more. Like you'd have things like detective or thrillers or detective things. Of course, in Outer Limits, that would tickle our brains. Like, that really got us thinking. That was like taking acid, like, woo, looking at different realms, right? Yeah, different levels of thinking, and and shows like Columbo. These were mysteries, and we had to detective things. We had to figure them out. There were still a lot of fun things, Barney Miller, fun things that would entertain us. But there were shows, the simplest, like I mentioned, the one that comes to my mind is Columbo. And I'll get back to Max in just a second. I didn't forget that. But we can't be fooled anymore. We've grew up with TV. We grew up, and then a lot of people read, and they read the mysteries, and we're figuring things out. And then it gets down to some of these movies. The movies. I mean, you got simple movies in the beginning. They were simple, but then they moved into other things. One that comes to my mind is Fracture. Does anybody remember that movie, Fracture? It has Ryan Gosling and Anthony Hopkins in it. I mean, that's a thriller. That is you got to figure it out. It is so twisted up. And that's just an example. I mean, there's a billion. I'm sure you can come to, let me know some that you would think, yeah, we have to figure these things out. And over the course of our lives, TV, movies has influenced our minds and our IQs, our ability to think things through and figure them out. Use common sense along with problem solving. I guess that would be problem solving. Well, we can't be fooled anymore. It takes a lot. We pretty much got it down, and through experience, we know that the ruling classes are trying to screw us over. And, things like the tea bags, and we're not stupid anymore. We know what's in food now. We just recently we're like, it's in our face. And things that, people want to like put things in our body and shoot things in our body, and say that, oh, you have to do that. And we're finding out that they're very dangerous. So we have figured things out, and the world is changing so quickly. Isn't it amazing? The information that's like now, bam, it's like running into a brick wall, like, wow. I should have known that a long time ago, but now I do. My eyes are open. Our eyes are open, okay? So back to Max. I know I went a long way around, but back to Max, what he was saying. He was saying that, Lee, you and I and other people that we hang with, we have figured out, and other nomads, figured out how to do this lifestyle, and we're good at it. We've got things figured out. But what's new is now figuring out how to maneuver the way the outside world is changing. We've got this lifestyle figured out. We know how to move, where to go, how to put our things down, and so that we can live comfortably in our home. But now we're all learning something new recently over these past 4 years. It's accumulated that the challenge has accumulated. We're now going into our 4th year of this mess, and we have to figure this out. Like, how do I got to rebudget everything now. Certain BLM land now is closing because they've changed things. Now we have to figure out where's the best place to be, because they keep changing. Certain states are turning their backs. Certain states have turned their back on people. So what states do we go to? And how do we figure out how we're going to eat with what we have left, because our income does not rise. And what we need to do is, and more and more nomads are talking about working. I mean, I'm thinking about it myself. We have to really think about who knew in our 70s, in our late 70s, I mean, Max is a little bit older than I am, that we have to figure out, where should I work? We have to go back to work. Even at 80, we've got to go get jobs, because our income or our pensions or whatever is not increasing, but the prices are increasing. So these are new things that we have to figure out. And of course, then we also talked about, for me, I think of nomads as being modern day explorers. We have forged the path, and I also thought about something else. I didn't even look at it this way. I am a 2nd generation nomad, because my parents in the 60s, and when they were in their 60s, the same, I mean, I knew that, but I didn't really know the stark reality of it, the truth of it. I'm 2nd generation nomad. Yeah, we were talking about, the grandfather of the nomad world and everything. Well, my parents were nomads when he was probably still in high school, or, because or just, way back starting a family. No, my parents, they were in Quartzsite years ago. They were there back in I think the late 80s. They were there, and my children were still somewhat small back then. Yeah. I remember they sold everything. They sold their home, and they gave everything away, or they sold everything. They had a huge sale, and they bought a 5th wheel and a big Suburban, tough Suburban, and yeah, they traveled. They were full time. They really were. And that's why a lot of it, I knew a little bit about it. So my mind was mainly on raising children, and I was in Arizona, but they were still in Ohio, but they would travel through. They wanted to see all their children. And then my sister and my brother were on the West Coast, but they were in different states too, so they could travel and see us. But their domicile was still in Ohio, because my oldest sister was still in Ohio. So I look back, and I didn't realize I was learning this lifestyle. So, yeah, I don't know how many 2nd generation nomads there are. There's probably some of us out there, but yeah, I am 2nd generation. Now, I'm in a smaller rig than them. They had a 5th wheel, but it was fun talking to Max about this. It really was. And that I do believe that we are forging a good path for people. It really is a life of freedom, and I think I want to talk about this again coming up in the next couple of episodes, that more and more of us are having to figure out how to manage our money and how to manage the changes that are occurring. And there's a lot. And there's a lot of changes that are happening out here. And all of you coming up that feel like, well, I need to be in a vehicle. I can't afford this anymore. Well, guess what? Learn from us. We've got things down pat. I think for me, and Max is in a minivan too. He did mention something really interesting because he had to go back to where he grew up and they were having a big family reunion. He said maybe even the last one. And he wanted to get some of his stuff out of his storage there and bring it back. So he left his minivan in Quartzsite, where his trailer is. But when he got back in his van, and he said, he goes, this is home. My minivan is my home. And that's what I said too. My minivan is my home. This is my home. That's why I spend a lot of my time in the afternoon here, as if just like your home, you're going to sit and maybe you're going to read in the afternoon, maybe even take a nap. You're going to, if you're retired, but it's your home and you're comfortable being in your home. Well, this is my home and I'm comfortable being in it. I love it. And so I'm comfortable in the afternoon being in here, stay out of the sun, get out of the sun, get out of the heat, wet myself down this summertime and spend time in here because I certainly don't want to be outside. You know, it's too hot. Yeah. Well, thanks for watching, everybody. I really appreciate, I just like to spend time with you, and I appreciate you spending just a little bit of time with me today, too. Yeah. Please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you tomorrow with new things to look at. I'll be at a new, different campsite, so we'll give you some more footage. Today, I just wanted to talk with you. Is that cool? Is that cool for you? Yeah. I know, drink my positive energy tea. Need positive energy, right? Mwah. I love you guys. Bye. See you tomorrow. Be here, okay? Okay. Love you.